Hello and welcome to the new video. Today we're going to take a look at top 10 teams from the community for the Open Master League. I saw some people in the comment section, yes, I read all of the comments, who asked me quite often there as well, multiple times under different videos to make a video about the Master League, and here you go with that one. I already made a top team video towards buffed Pokemon for the Open Master League earlier on the season. Here we're going to have some top teams from the community who worked out, some very interesting teams there as well. But also, I'm going to most likely cover a little bit more of the Master League over the next week. Now, for the next few bits, they're going to be mainly around the new Shadow Pokemon that are going to be released, or very soon, so definitely stay tuned for this. Would really appreciate it if you could leave a like on the video and subscribe as well if you want to not miss out on all of the cool Shadow content coming up, like Shadow Palkia and the Shadow Diggersby. So yeah, feel free to do that, and otherwise we're going to move on to team number 1. And what you're going to see as well today is these are teams that people use with great success, which means we are not having any stipulations of being, oh, we're only going to use non-legendary Pokemon. Stuff like this can be for videos, can be for like normal top teams. Here we want to have teams from the community, and yes, Master League, it is not necessary to run legendary Pokemon, but it's definitely better to run legendary Pokemon. There's like no doubt about this one. And so you're going to see here a lot of really good teams with legendary Pokemon like this one, where Kyogre and Necrozma is a great core together. Necrozma is going to be able to beat those Dragon type Pokemon, for example, that you don't want to face as a Kyogre. But as a Necrozma, you're going to be weak against ground as well as fire type Pokemon, with which Kyogre can actually deal with quite well. And also for the grass type Pokemon, Necrozma is going to be a very solid answer. The only grass type that you can kind of see in the Open Master League is, other than the Root, which I wouldn't really consider because the Root is just quite rare, Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu is a very solid Pokemon. But yeah, basically you're going to have this team here with Yveltal as a Sasop and the Necrozma in the back, and it's definitely going to be a very solid line for you to try out. Moving on, we're going to have a team here, a lot of, by the way, content creators here as well on there, and a lot of them are specialized in the Open Master League. They know exactly what they're doing, as well as here the next team is going to be with the Zygarde Complete. Yes, there are going to be other Pokemon that you can run as well, like a Palkia, or like just generally kind of any good Dragon type Pokemon with Dragon type damage. We're going to have the Kyogre as well as the Necrozma. Necrozma is something that you're going to see quite often. This form is so much better than the other form in the Open Master League. Sadly, I like the other form a little bit more because it's like a little bit more attack weighted. I feel like they have the same stats, but like having Ghost type damage is better than having Steel type damage, just generally speaking, attacking wise. And this team, again, is going to have the combination of Kyogre and Necrozma, and I guess you kind of want to win the lead with the Zygarde, which Zygarde can do against basically every Pokemon that's not a Fairy type anyway. And then just align yourself afterwards, which is a very smart play here, and definitely a play that's gonna work out for everyone who has those Pokemon. Moving on, we're going to have, the Xerneas in the lead, as well as the option of Enamoris. Enamoris, by the way, if you have an Enamoris, please feel free to use it. This Pokemon is absolutely ridiculous currently. It has great coverage, great stats, and just generally is one of the best meta breakers, because you have a flying Fairy type Pokemon that already beats, based on the typing, basically everything in the meta, but then also has Grass Knot as a coverage move, which is going to allow you to beat Pokemon like Rhyperior, which usually would be a little bit of a trickier one. It is ridiculous. Like, honestly, if I could choose a Pokemon that I still want to build for this meta right now, it would be Enamoris. It is so worth getting this Pokemon. But then again, in 1 month, we're very likely gonna get another chance of Enamoris, because we're gonna get the Valentine's Day again, where it got released last time around. So that's going to be interesting. Otherwise, you're going to have Palkia as the Sasor up here. Palkia, very strong. Of course, like, kind of the strongest Pokemon together with Zygarde, I feel like, in this meta. But then again, like, you draw out so many Fairy type Pokemon by having those two Pokemon being so top tier that it's sometimes a bit difficult to play them as well. But here, Rhyperior in the back is for sure, like, if you need a Pokemon for the Open Master League and you don't really have the legendary Pokemon, Rhyperior is the Pokemon you want. There are some other options as well that are going to be very solid, but I also made videos recently about no legendary teams, so definitely check them out as well in the playlist for the Open Master League, and we can move on to team number 4. Again, we're going to have the core here of Palkia and Necrozma this time around, which is going to be great, together with the Kyogre, of course, which we talked about before, and why this core is so strong. And here with Palkia as a Sasop, it's just like, again, a very solid option that are gonna work out really well for you. Like, those teams are going to be super strong. For Necrozma, by the way, there are different kind of movesets that you can run as well. I've actually seen quite a lot of people running currently Outrage and Iron Head, which gets rid of Sunsteel Strike. which is usually the best move that you can go for, but I feel like it is kind of interesting to have a bit of a different coverage. Iron Head is just a bit faster than Sun Steel Strike, so that's kind of the main benefit of it, and Outrage is going to allow you to beat other fairy type Pokemon, exactly, not dragon type Pokemon, of course. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting choice, and yeah, we're gonna move on to team number 5. We're going to have here one of my favorite cores, which is going to be Rhyperior plus Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu, weak to flying type Pokemon, weak to fire type Pokemon, weak to poison type Pokemon. All of them are gonna get destroyed by Rhyperior. But honestly, Tapu Bulu is such a good Pokemon, especially in the 2 shields, because you have access to the new charge move of Nature's Madness on this Pokemon. And this completely changed the entire thing for Tapu Bulu. This makes this Pokemon so much better. And such an interesting, unique core breaker, because grass typing, as I said before, is not really common. But there are quite a lot of targets for the grass typing. The reason why it's not common is because there are not really a lot of good Pokemon with the grass typing for the Master League. And so, yeah, this is definitely an interesting pick here. Zacian, Sasop, or the Yveltal. Both make sense, and we can move on to team number 6. Which is going to be here again the Palkia together with Rhyperior, or of course Necrozma as well, and Landorus in the back. You have a lead that's going to be great against everything that's not a fairy type or especially a steel type Pokemon, and you have basically good answers for those in the back there. That's kind of how this works. This is not really rocket science either. I like Rhyperior a little bit more because it gives you a bit more play against other Necrozmas, but this team works out no matter what, and we can just move on to team number 7. Which is going to be more of a classic one, I feel like. Dialga, we're going to have the Sasop of Landorus, and we have Primarina with Waterfall in the back. Not too sure if Disarming Voice or the Moonblast is going to be better for this team here. I tried out Disarming Voice and Moonblast, I think, on Primarina with Waterfall. I liked Moonblast a bit more, but there were matchups where Disarming Voice would have been better, because you just get there a bit faster. But yeah, Moonblast is basically a little bit more damage. Hydro Cannon is the cheapest move anyway, so Disarming Voice needs 5 more energy compared to a Hydro Cannon, so it's not the biggest upgrade for it anyway, or like, it's actually worse than Hydro Cannon in normal scenarios. So I feel like I like definitely Moonblast a bit more, but again, it depends on the situation they're in. This team, very classic, very strong, and Landorus Dialga core is still very, very good. Next one, we're going to have a team here from Lostheart. We're going to see as well that they're suggested here. Those teams are mainly from Draco as well, which is always down below in the description as well of every video if you want to check some more battle resources. But we're going to see here that they suggested Earthquake on the Ho-Oh, gives you a bit better coverage against Rhyperior. But other than this team is a very old classic one. You can use it also with a double dragon backline if you want to, but this got Lostheart to Legend last season. Metas don't really shift towards Master League. Like, metas in Master League kind of stay the same for most period of time. So like, if you have a team that you used last season that's still like it was strong for you, then just give it a try again. It definitely should work out quite well for you. So team number 9 here, we're going to have from Pogodomes a team as well. They are a lot of times memeing with their Ho-Oh. They're sometimes giving their Ho-Oh something like Solar Beam and stuff like this. So yeah, be aware of that. But anyway, we're going to see here, so the Zacian moveset. Zacian can have a lot of different movesets. I feel like Wild Charge makes the most amount of sense here because it can bait out other Ho-Ohs, for example, with it. And also gives you better coverage just in the synergy with Ho-Oh itself. But yeah, this team looks like a lot of fun as well. Should work out quite well. And again, Pogodomes definitely knows what they're doing in the Master League. I think they basically hit Legend every single time in the Master League as well. So yeah, it's definitely the best kind of, league. I don't know, what is your favorite league to play in? For me, I'm a little bit more of a lamer one with the Open Great League. For the leagues recently at least. There were better cups before though, but yeah, those times are gone. But anyway, we can move on to team number 10. We're going to have here now the Dragonite, the Dialga, as well as the Necrozma. And this is going to be again an interesting team here. Steel double Dragon double Steel or Steel double Dragon, both of them are kind of working out, especially if you use Dialga here. Is going to be something that is really, really solid already since the beginning of basically PvP. It's such a nice type combination together because Steel types usually weak against like something like Ground type Pokemon, which is going to be fine because we have a Flying Dragon type Pokemon here. Or Fighting type, which is also again for flying a good coverage there. But Dragon is going to be weak against like Ice and Fairy, which Steel type is going to completely shatter. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a very solid team still. Interesting to see a team here with the Melmetal. I made a video about Melmetal as well with a lot of interesting things towards this as well. Definitely check that one out, because Germnaa is actually quite a solid Pokemon right now and people can underestimate it. And you saw it in my video as well. Definitely check that one out. And that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like. Check out the videos on the screen and I will see you then. Bye bye.